Hey guys, welcome back to Sunkissed Homeschool. My name is Courtney and this is my 5th year homeschooling my kids, and this is the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7th home that we've homeschooled in. Regardless, we've moved around a lot and we've homeschooled and we've done different curricula in different places, different ways, shapes, and forms, and we've been a part of different types of co-ops, and we've just independently done it ourselves. So I thought that it would just be really fun to share with you all what we are using this year for our homeschool routine and rhythm. I love chatting with other moms about what they're using for their curricula for the year. I love hearing how something that I've tried in the past is working really well for them. And it kind of like excites me and makes me curious about why it worked for them and not for us. And then I love hearing the different ways that they use different types of things. So all of that being said, I thought it would just be really fun to share with you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I wanted to share with you what we're using this year. So this is our 5th year homeschooling. I have a 3rd grader. I have a I have a 1st grader, and I have a preschooler. Now, 5th year homeschooling, and you say your oldest is a 3rd grader, like how is that possible? Well, if you think about it, my oldest is my girl. She's always been inquisitive and really wanting to learn how to read. So she asked me to start homeschooling her at a very young age. So we did 1 year. Well, we did 1 official year of preschool, but we did more years. So technically, if I was counting like the years leading up to it, we've homeschooled longer than 5 years, but I'm just gonna count the ones that I actually had curricula for, which started preschool year, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and this is our 3rd, so 5 years. And I'm not gonna go into everything that we've used, just what we're using this year. So I think to start us out, I'm gonna show you what I'm using for preschool. For my preschooler, she is 4, almost 5, and I bought this last year for the toddler workbook from Scholastic from Costco. I noticed they had them again, and I really liked it, and so I bought the pre-K workbook from Scholastic. This has been just really easy. I am not a stickler for perfection. I love it when she wants to participate on her own accord, and so I do more interest-led. If she wants to do school that day, she gets to do school that day. If she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't have to do it. I'm a really big advocate for learning through play, and my kids play, and they play hard. So for this, I'll just show you the letter E that we did. I like Scholastic. I think like the work that they do is pretty good. Uppercase E, tracing it, circle items that begin with E. So this one I help with. I'll say the sound of it, like, let's see, she circled this one and I just showed her. I was like, that's not what it is. But so see, this one is elephant, elephant. Does that start with Yes. And she circles it. Ducky. Does it start with She said yes, and I was like, wait, and she goes, oh, that's not So then I crossed it out for her. I'm not gonna make her erase it. We have the lowercase e's. She traces them. She tries writing them. She really likes doing this where she traces items and then writing the letters in it. She always asks if she can do this page before this one. I don't care what order she does it in. Absolutely. These one, it says to color in the letters. She just scribbles on them. She doesn't want to do it. That's okay. I just want to engage her excitement to do pages and like want to learn. So if it's not exciting for her, I don't mind. She's a preschooler. and then I just ask her which item she made. Now, on each of these pages, after she does them, I'm currently this year using any kind of marker I have, and I'm drawing smiley faces on it if they've done it and done it correctly. If they have not done it correctly, then I will show them where the mishap happened. Like, for instance, circling the dinosaur. I showed her, oh, dino. Does that start with eh? Oh no. Okay, cross it out, then she gets a smiley face. So that is really easy work for her. I also have a couple other things where she's cutting things with like the the scissor practice ones, because she's at the age where she likes cutting things. And she's also at a point where like reading is really fun, so we read books all together. That's pretty much what I'm using for my preschooler. I will say that at the second half of the year, I'm going to purchase an alphabet program for her that I've used for my other two kids that I love and I am obsessed with. It is called 4 Weeks to Read by Learning Dynamics. And the reason why I love it is it comes with a student workbook, an adult workbook that, well, not workbook, but more like an adult manual. And it comes with the cards, and then it comes with character cards, and it comes with a CD. And so it makes learning fun. If it's fun, it's engaging, the kids will remember, they will recall, and they will be able to actually teach you what they have learned. So I find that very, very important in the schematics and this of just, I find it very important in the process of learning to have a ton of fun. And so what happens is the first little guy is a mouse. His name is Morty. You hear this story from your workbook about Morty the mouse, and it's all things that start with because we're working with the letter M. And then they get to keep little Morty Mouse character. And then in their workbook, they write the letter M, and then there's 4 pictures, and then they get to circle the ones that start with on the song that you get to play. You can play it right from your phone, or you can play it from the CD that they give you. The song talks about the letter M, the sound it makes, and they repeat it with the words from the pictures that are on the workbook page, saying And so it just reiterates that M says The entire alphabet song is like that too, where it says the letter name, says the sound, and goes through all of the alphabet. So I just find it really, really helpful for not just knowing the letters, but knowing the sounds that the letters make. With that little cardboard character my kids get, my daughter made them a little cardboard dollhouse. Each character had their own little bed. My son made each character cardboard vehicles. So for Morty, he made him a motorcycle. He said, oh, he needs a motorcycle because motorcycle starts with Can you draw me a motorcycle? And so I drew him a motorcycle. He colored it in. I taped it all up, created a little spot for it to hop in, and he would drive his little motorcycle around for his mouse. So I'm gonna have to purchase a new one because in the midst of all of our moves, I lost it. And it's just a fabulous resource to have to help teaching reading. I do not use all of the books. I typically will just go through the blue section of them. And then when we've finished with this resource, then I usually will move on to All About Reading, which brings me into our first grader. He is doing All About Reading. Let me go grab our stuff. Okay, so this is my basket. I have my science stuff in the back, some extra drawing journals in the back, and then I have my All About Reading, what I'm using currently with my son in the front. And so currently we are about halfway through Wonderful, and we use this to really just learn the next steps of reading. They have, I thought I grabbed all of it. There's actually quite a bit I'm missing. I have them in different spots, but I have phonogram cards, which are the yellow cards, and you go through all the different sounds, what they say. And when I play a game with him where like if he says it correctly, he gets to keep it. If he messes up, it goes to the back of my pile until we go through and he can read them all again. The green ones are word cards that we'll practice, so like sight words, again, we'll play the game. He gets it if he gets it right. If he gets it wrong, it goes back in my pile until he says it's correctly. And then in the book, it like has different things that you can work with them on. I can be ambitious and try and push for too much in one day. Typically, it's really good if you just set a timer for 20 minutes and work with them through this for 20 minutes. A lot of times, if I do that, I don't finish a lesson in a day, which is why I get ambitious and try and push for a lesson. But when I do, I see burnout and I see frustration a lot more. So having a timer is really, really helpful. Set it for 20 minutes. There are games. So for this one, I have my games in a different binder. Let me go and grab them so I can show you. So I went and got my binder. What I've done is I've taken out all of the games and I've put them into page protectors, and I've cut out all the pieces, and I've used paper clips to clip them together for like what I need them for. So this next game looks like, so I'll pull out what I need. We have these different things, and for this one, this is for a story. And so look at the 4 items. Your students should brainstorm as many ways as possible as the object could be used. For example, the hat could be used to keep cool on a hot day, or carry small objects if you wish. Write down your student ideas. And I really like these. I laminated them. I think in the future I probably wouldn't laminate them just because it's harder to turn on, but it's a really good way to have the kids like practice the same end of the word. And then it has like right here, it has like a warm-up for reading. So we are halfway through this lesson, and this is the warm-up for the reading. I have it like this where I like bound it. I will say I'm not really as big of a fan of like this kind of spiralized binding. I think if I were to do it again, I would just take all of these out, put them in page protectors, and then you could cross it off as you go, and then you could erase it for the next kid. Once you do the warm-up, then it's getting you ready for the book, which I have right here. And then it comes with a little viewfinder bookmark, which my son really is grateful for. He can use it like this, or he can use it like this as he reads, but typically we will use this more so for the practice, and then for reading, we'll just use our finger to follow along. And then there's also activities that include the letter tile board. And so like that'll look like this. We love using the letter tile. We are very much so a hands-on learning style, so we're very kinesthetic. And so the learning board is very helpful because you'll move the letters around to make different words, to sound it out, blend it together. And then we love playing their game. Let's see if I can find it. The program is filled with like a lot of different games throughout it, always changing up how you're learning, and so that makes it very fun. Because you're learning in different ways and you're playing different games, and so it's just very fun. The more fun it is, the better it is. It's just called change the word, and so like we'll start off with one word and then they'll change one letter of it and it'll make a new word, and so it's just changing one letter as you go to make different words and sound them out. And yeah, so 20 minutes is wonderful. Since I have this here, I might as well show you. We are using Apologia for science. We're doing astronomy. I have a first grader who does not like to write, and I have a third grader who is really good at writing, but just is not enjoying it as much. So I bought one notebook because I thought I've never done this before. I'm just gonna buy one and we're gonna do it all together because I didn't think that like he would want to be involved with writing so much. But the cool thing about this is throughout this book, it has so much information in it that is actually really cool for the kids to learn. And they are so intrigued by all the things that they are learning from this. I purchased the audio for this so I didn't have to read it all, but I could sit and like point through it, listen to it with them, and get like activities and stuff ready. But in all of this, in here, there are a lot of little mini notebooks. And my son loves using scissors. He loves using push pins, and they make the note-taking really fun. And so if I were to do this again, next year we are gonna continue on with Apologia in the order and the sequence that they've made it. Like this is so cool. I would just do it all together and make sure that we're writing it all together instead of independently. I'm like, well, you could do this if you want, but I'm not making it like a priority. We're just going through it, reading through it, and doing the activities, which is a great start for us because we haven't done science before. But realistically, if I want them to get the most out of it, I'm gonna want them to do this. And this is the, I think this is the junior book, Exploring Creation, Notebooking, Journal. I don't know, I think this was I don't remember. I think they have like a normal one and then like a more advanced one. But this one is really fun for kids, and yeah, I am definitely gonna get one for each of my kids next year. And also I purchased a science activities kit for the Apologia Astronomy through Nature's Workshop. She has I'll see if I can find a link for you, but she has a prefabricated box that has all of the stuff for each science lesson in it, and it's really truly wonderful. She has bags for each activity lesson, so each lesson is like chapter 1, lesson 1 activities, and it'll be lesson 1.A activity, lesson 1.B activity, and each of the activities will just all be in the same lesson 1 bag. So all the things that you need for the activities are there, and it's all in the box. So you don't have to go looking for everything, you just have it all ready. So you can do all of the activities on the spot. And I'm someone who I like having all the things to do it, but I'm not gonna sit up the night before and like get it all ready. And so they do that for you, which is so, so nice. So science we're doing together as a family. So preschool, first and third. The other thing that we are doing together as a family is history. Let me go and get that real quick. Okay, so this is our history for this year. We're using Beautiful Feet books, and it's wonderful, truly wonderful. The fabric of the books is like this smooth, buttery feeling, and I love it so much. This is just like the parent guide, but it's truly been so much fun. They have rabbit trails, which have additional books in case if you want to read and research further into it. They have each lesson. They have printouts for you to print out for each of your kids to put in a journal. You can do with it what you want. I have younger elementary, which this is for younger elementary, and it's early American history. And it's so much fun because you're reading books that have pictures in them and the kids get very engaged. And so today we were reading about Leif the Lucky and about how he sailed from Greenland, stopped at the outer islands of Norway, and then sailed all the way to, or the outer islands, of Scotland. I don't think it's on here. Oh, here it is. He sailed from the outer parts of Greenland to the outer islands of Scotland to Norway. So he sailed to here to over to here, but so we included that in there. And then when he got there, he talked to the king, and he brought him gifts of polar bears and walrus tusks. And anyways, this is him meeting the king, and then this is where we left off. And then yeah, it just gives you like engaging questions to ask your kids, and it is biblical. So like it talks about the Bible, like what good advice does Leif remember that he waits to enter King Olaf's court? How could Proverbs 1:8-9 be applied to this situation? So we went and got our Bibles and we compared the situation and how it could be helpful. And then it gives you extra things that you can do to keep it simple, to create a stamina, because we haven't done history before, like we haven't done science before, is I cut out the extra stuff. And I just am having them glue in the paper and then write what that scene is. And then once we become accustomed to that, then I'm going to build off of that and start doing more. But once you finish a section, like this one has 6 sections about the Vikings, then it has a historic table, which is wonderful and fun to kind of celebrate the end of a section, and you get to create a food. And my kids love baking, so this would be totally fun if we weren't behind and pressed for time. But then we're going to move on to the indigenous people. And again, it gives you extra really rich literature books, picture books that just teach about the subject. And it's just been really enjoyable. And then again, historic table, when you're done with that, you get to celebrate with baking. I will show you all of the books it comes with for early American history, because truly really rich and good books to learn from, really fun, really good quality. Let me go grab them. I'm getting warm from carrying around all of the curriculum. Let's make ourselves at home. Oh, this is so funny. We also bought a couple of extra books. I see my kids have added some of the books that we own, like Surfing Past Fear, into the box. Okay, so Pocahontas. So many good books. I am so excited to read. And so far I'm really enjoying the process of reading through it and just discussing it and learning about early American history. Let me go grab my kids' buckets of schoolwork. It has their history notebooks in it, and I can show you what we've been doing for the note taking. Okay. I was gonna put them up on the bed, but they're a little bit too heavy and they will topple over. So when you order Early American History by Barefoot Feet, Beautiful Feet books, it comes with this notebook. And then in the notebook, this is also very buttery, we have written in the front of it, and then we've cut out the first picture. It tells you in the lesson. So for instance, lesson 1, it says, have your child copy this into their notebook, have them cut this out, color it, paste it into their notebook, and write this to title it. And so we've titled it, we've written it, we've cut it out, colored it, and pasted it. This looks awesome. Very simple, but a very easy way to recall what they have learned throughout the year. So here's the journey that Leaf took. Boop, boop. And then today, Leaf enters King Olaf's court, and we color it. Very, very simple, very easy, very doable. And for comparison, my first grade son. Okay. Third grade work, first grade work. We are working on his handwriting, but boy, does it make my heart so happy to see stuff like that. It's just so cute. The difference between first grade and third grade. And I think they're both awesome. Like, this is the Vikings. I wrote Eric the Red sails to Greenland because there was not enough space for him. This is his journey. He ended up not even doing the journey, but just coloring the spot where he started, pit stop, ended. And that's okay. It's just different. And then today, he was tired and he was like, do I have to color it? I was like, just write the title on it, buddy, and I'm okay with that. And this is his title today. So I think like this is just amazing, and something we can work on is moving these pictures from here to the top so that he has this to write on. Also, another little tidbit that I could be doing instead of writing on the board and having him copy it is writing with highlighter in his book and having him copy my handwriting versus from the board to his notebook. But I do love the notebooks. I like how they're simple. I like how the kids are able to do them without having to put a ton of extra work in it. But the extra work that they have done for these has made them look just amazing, and they're going to be able to look back on them and say, oh, I was in first grade then and I learned about Leaf the Lucky. So okay, also talking about my first grader's handwriting, we are currently using the Good and the Beautiful handwriting for him. One, it came with the entire bundle for first grade for the English literature, and I really wanted to purchase the Handwriting Without Tears, but the more I looked into it, the more I really enjoyed the handwriting here in the Good and the Beautiful over Handwriting Without Tears. The reason I like this is because it includes drawing, it includes coloring, and it's just a little bit bigger. And I like that. Let me show you on this next page. Like tracing these letters, it has a starting point and it shows arrows for every single one that you're supposed to do. The arrow is there and it's showing you this way. And it has each of the arrows numbered. And so I personally like that because it helps my son remember, where was I at? What was I doing? How am I supposed to read this letter? Like, it has it on there. And he thinks it's so easy and enjoyable. Like, he does not complain about doing his handwriting, which is always an A+ for a boy who is very, very active and just wants to be learning through playing. Very big advocate for that. But I need to also work on other skills like handwriting and reading and math. So it's always a win when my son enjoys using anything. So that's a win for me. So we ended up staying with it. And then the English that goes with it, we have yet to start it because I am still working on all about reading. And so to make that a little bit more fun, I'm including Explode the Code. Now, I had this one and I thought, oh, he's in first grade. I'm gonna start him in an extra first grade one I had, but I didn't have the first set of the first grade. I had 1.5, and it's too hard. And so I also have, this is like the starter one for kindergarten, but it's book 3 for kindergarten. It usually starts with A, B, and then C. And so since I have C, I was like, oh, okay. But I just found it. So I just opened it up, and it's easier. So he's not complaining. He's not getting frustrated. And he did it all so quick today. And he's like, oh, that was easy. I'm done with my English today. And I'm like, yeah, you are, bud. I'm so happy you are so confident in yourself right now. That's what I want. A happy, confident learner. That's what I want. Because if he's confident and he's happy and he's having fun learning, that means he's learning, he's retaining it, and it means he's enjoying it, which is huge. So, win, win, win. Adjusting my tabs. I love having these tabs. Now, because this one is a little bit easier, I'm okay with giving him a little bit extra work. Let's see, how many pages should I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we'll do 4, and we'll stop it there. They know that if there's a red marker on the page, they know I don't do that page. And they know, oh, there's a green marker on this page. They know, oh, that's where I'm supposed to start. I don't know why this keeps on happening to me lately, but I will check, make sure my device is like charged, has space, and then some reason it dies or runs out of space. So I was in the middle of explaining the handwriting. I actually went on and explained all of my daughter's curriculum, and then it lost all of the footage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end with my son's curriculum for all of his first grade stuff. And then I'm going to make another video going over all of my daughter's third grade materials. And then hopefully make a manipulatives video. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to be notified of the third grade curricula and what we use. And if you want to be notified for the manipulatives that I have collected over the last 5 years as an ex-teacher, and what I have found to be helpful and what I think is absurd to pay for out of your own pocket. So thank you for watching so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye, guys. Okay. Hello, friends. There we go. I noticed that the one thing I didn't get to for my son for first grade level was the math. I was going over all of the footage, and the part it cut out on was the math. So I just want to show you that for first grade, we are using Apologia as well, because it teaches kinesthetically, auditory, and visually. And I think it's a really big, important factor to know how your kid learns and what excites them, because the more exciting it is, the more they enjoy it, the more they're having fun, the more they're going to learn, retain, be able to bring that information up the next day. I can play that with you in just a minute. Okay? Put that right there. Hold on. So for the Apologia math, one of the lessons that I was gonna show you, so let's do this one. First of all, we made Play-Doh together. And so he got to do all of the cooking himself, which is hands-on. And then we used that Play-Doh to do beginning subtraction problems. Right here, I was talking to him about what it means to subtract when you squash the ball. So I'm verbally telling him, and he's auditorily listening and learning. And then, so we have kinesthetic, we have auditory, and then this is our visual, and he gets to use his Play-Doh here as well. So I'm telling him the stories, he's taking his Play-Doh, he's squashing it out, and visually he's figuring out the subtraction problem. And so each and every lesson that's in here is gonna have the 3 senses, the 3 styles of learning. And so we're a really big fan of Apologia Mathematics. My daughter also uses it as well. And I will touch base on the 3rd grade level when I do the next video of my daughter's curricula. So, okay. You wanna go first? Okay, you go first.